Unshe malayo, unshe malayo, unshe malayo. Eya ho ye wa ye lo yo, hai ye. Ape tu kine wa kan ye lo, wa kan ye lo. Ya ya ho ye wa ye lo yo, hai ye. Ape tu kire on she malayo, on she malayo. Ya ya ho ye wa ye lo yo, ai. We cho ni kire wa kan ye lo, wa kan ye lo. Ya ya ho ye wa ye lo yo, ai yo.
In the video on Lakota Worldview Uninterrupted Journey, we showed how children were sent from the spirit world and were given every opportunity to become healthy individuals. This path toward becoming healthy individuals was characterized by celebrations, ceremonies, naming ceremonies, marking of the ear ceremonies, being loved, being cherished. And this was all done with the hope and prayer that children would become healthy elders so that they could pass on the teachings. In the Lakota language, a female elder is translated to Winukjala. The concept of Winukjala actually translates to my dear and precious female source of strength. Likewise, the Lakota term for elder male is Wichakjala. Wichakjala actually refers to my dear and precious male source of strength. It is hoped that every person can become a healthy elder so that the teachings will be passed on. In this video, we are going to talk about the interrupted journey, where unfortunately and tragically many indigenous people, including the Lakota people, have experienced devastation, epidemics, loss of land, genocide, massacres, policies that were designed to assimilate and disconnect from the culture. This has resulted in many individuals and families being disconnected from the teachings. As we go through this video, we hope that the message is clear that despite having experienced trauma, loss, and grief, healing is possible. This appeal to the Creator is on behalf of children, youth, families, and elders everywhere to find healing and happiness. Tugashila le ampetu ki wopila kanka unkeni chapi. Tugashila oyate ki kaki japi unshiwi chakilapie. Tugashila wakayanja tchechapi tiwahe wakampi. Wash ake wichakupie hechel ake zania shagya mani pikde. Ake wopila tranka echiche mitakuye oyasi. Grandfather, thank you for this day. The people suffer I ask for strength and healing for the children, for the families, for the elders, so that they will walk with health and strength. Thank you to Kashila, all my relations.
Unfortunately and tragically, many people have become disconnected from their indigenous teachings, such as the 4 stages of life, Oinajitopa. As a result of historical losses and trauma, such as the example that's shown here, where approximately 300 men, women, and children were massacred at Wounded Knee in 1890 by the U.S. Army. As a result of that massacre, there was intergenerational loss. Mothers, daughters, grandfathers, grandsons all passed away, were all died together. So there was a loss of teachings from one generation to the next. Additionally, there was no time to grieve appropriately. When there is a loss in the family, according to the Lakota perspective, there's a wiping of tears ceremony that is done to help the person adjust to life without the loved one. However, this could not be done because the people were living in terror and they were running for their lives. So there was no time to grieve appropriately. When the teachings are not there for guidance and strength, the journey through the stages of life becomes marred by the interruptions to the spiritual, mental, and emotional growth of the individual. For example, what we might see today in contemporary times is a young, single pregnant girl that has experienced violence at the hands of her partner, and thus her unborn baby has experienced violence. When the baby is born, there is no grandmother or elder to welcome the baby, to pray with the baby, predict a strong path for the baby, to give the baby a name, and to provide that sense of being cherished and loved for the baby. The kinship system has become weakened in contemporary society, and thus the young mother does not have relatives to count on. She may not have a place to live. She becomes overwhelmed with the responsibility of a baby. She has no partner to help her. She takes her frustration out on her baby, and because she has a pattern of hurting the baby, child welfare steps in and eventually removes the child and places the child in a foster home. While in the foster home, the child experiences abuse, is removed and placed in another home. She or he may have been in several different foster homes by the age of 10 years old. This stark example of this fictitious person shows how a baby can experience or be exposed to multiple traumas while in the womb and while still a child. These experiences of trauma can impact the spiritual, mental, emotional, and sometimes the physical growth of the child. When the child reaches the 2nd stage of life, they may already have had experiences with substance use, substance abuse, self-harm, or suicide attempts. Sadly, there's no ceremony to mark the transition for the child to transition from being a child to a young woman or a young man. So the young person does not have the teachings and the guidance to navigate the 2nd stage of life or beyond in a strong and healthy way. The 3rd stage of life might be characterized by substance abuse, addiction, suicide attempts, stress-related illnesses, prison time, and/or early death. By the time the individual reaches the fourth stage of life, they do not have the teachings nor the strength to fulfill the role of being a healthy elder. So the implication for the people is that there are few elders to pass on the teachings, to keep social order, to observe custom law, to keep spiritual order, and to pass on the teachings. While this is a very grim portrayal, it is intended as an example of the stark contrast discussed previously to the smooth journey through the stages of life, when the kinship system was strong, where the culture and spiritual teachings formed the foundation of the child's growth and development. What is evident and hopeful is that persons who have experienced multiple and severe trauma throughout their lives are characterized by resiliency, strength, and have proven their ability to endure and live despite such adverse experiences. There is also a sense of hope for the future and potential for healing from trauma. Our role as caregivers, service providers, relatives, and community members is to take a healing-informed approach to individuals who have experienced and survived trauma.
Hey ha ya hey yo hey ha yo hey lo hey ha ya hey ho yo hey ha yo hey lo hey ha ya hey ho yo hey ha yo hey lo Aïe, oi, tronca chez la, on chez mon la, yo, o te chike, yo, en paix tout qu'il est, ho, wa, yo, aïe, ha, ya, yo, ha, yo, lo, ha, yo, ho, yo, ha, yo, lo, ha, yo, lo, ma tranca on chez la yo hey ma ki j'ai yo en paye tout qu'il est ho wa lo yo yo